Be right back.
Yo, it's Urban.
The Urban Deer.
Hello, everyone. We are live, ready to start this match here with our winners of round 3 match. We got Jack versus Curtis. So wait just a minute for Jack to get back.
Oh, we got Cap too on.
Oh, hi, Cap.
Commentary is
If Cap can do comms, I'm gonna pass it off to him because I'm gonna have to leave in like an hour.
Hello, Urban.
We can't
Cap,
hear
can
you if
do
you're saying
comms
anything,
for a
Cap.
friend?
What was that? Sorry, I was a million miles away. Was someone talking to me?
If you're talking, we can't hear you, Cap, by the
No,
way.
yeah, Cap joined chat, and now we don't know.
Oh shit!
Someone-
Can you not?
Oh, you're here.
Now we can.
Oh,
we need to figure
Well,
out
that
who's
was-
doing commentary. We're live right now, guys.
sorry. Excellent. Bottom line, if I can help if needed, I can
Okay.
save Urban's life.
Yeah,
Help is
Cap's got this.
definitely-
Good luck, guys.
Help is
Thank you,
definitely
Juan.
desired. Thank you.
Alright.
Cap.
I'm just imagining Cap walking out of like a burning building carrying Urban.
That has happened, but that's a story for another day.
Alright.
All right, we
Oh,
ready
no
to
reason
get
to-
started, guys?
Another reason
Yep.
to follow the
Yeah.
Twitch channel. Stay tuned
Yes,
for
sir.
more updates.
All right. So we are here with winners round 3. We got Jack versus Curtis, and on commentary we have Cap and Stario. I guess we're good to give you guys a countdown. You both ready to go?
Yep.
Count me in, Supreme Leader.
All right.
Mhm.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
GL. Jack about to obtain a free dub today.
Oh damn!
Alright, so Curtis is saying that because Jack is probably the #1 player in the Western world who has had world record in pod many times, and Curtis has ego that is like below Australia, so you know, sometimes that happens.
I mean, I think there's a level of being realistic. I think a meta way of looking at this, right, is less of like you know, even you know, I think it brings up a very interesting like competitive element of like, you know, sometimes in life you're gonna play people who are better than you, right? You know, and sometimes it's to the point where like, you know, winning is almost guaranteed to not happen. I mean, and this happens all the time, right? Like you know, like in sports, right? All the time, right? Where there's just a team who's playing a team that's way better than them, right? Like in sports. And they know they're going to lose, you know? You know what I mean? And so the question just kind of becomes a little bit more of like, what can you get from this match if you don't think that you're gonna have a victory? You know, I think there's an element of the game that can still be valuable to you, and I think that tapping into that is something that I think is very important if you actually want to get anything from that race. I think that's something that it's not just idealistic, but I do think that it's good to understand just even from like a macroscopic, like how does one compete? You know, the art of competition is big. Jack looks like he's ahead now, but I also think that, you know, they aren't completely synced on stream, so I don't think Curtis is actually that far behind already.
Yeah, they're about synced up, and like
Yeah.
probably just because Curtis is like saying because of the matchup here, he's probably gonna be playing more aggressively overall to try and get any advantage he can, really.
For sure. Now, of course, what happened here, yeah, Curtis is already mad. So what happened there was the Pikmin positioning, Curtis's throw and the Pikmin positioning was not that great. So what happened was the Pikmin started attacking the other pellet, and that is going to, of course, delay the pellet by a couple seconds. So Curtis is a little bit mad because because that happened. Very good lure from Jack. Very good lure from Curtis. All good. Oh, Jack kind of fumbling on loading the Bulborb, though. See? All right. So, you know, so I'd say they're about where they were before.
Yeah, they should be like pretty much on the exact same pace because, like what Pi is saying, the streams aren't exactly synced up.
So the question, one thing that I'm wondering is that if Curtis doesn't go for it, is Curtis going to activate on day 4? I don't know. I mean, there's been something. I wouldn't be surprised if he does, because that's like in the muscle memory. I do think a new meta that more people should adopt is definitely trying to not activate the Louis cutscene at all. Like, even if you don't go for it, right? There are ways that you can just not activate the cutscene at all. And I think it's a pretty good buff. Statistically, I don't think Curtis is going to worry about it. I mean, he's the kind of person that he'd rather just get it over with so he doesn't have to think about it. See.
Oh, Curtis.
Well, no, it's a thing because when you have 5 Pikmin, you can do that. But when you have 4
yeah.
Pikmin, you can't do that. But, you know, I mean, Curtis, again, Jack's stream started a little bit earlier, so when you adjust, Curtis is only a couple seconds behind.
But yeah, Julian, recently we've been looking into no Louis cutscene at all, mainly pioneered by our friend Cap here, and also Harpeast out in Australia has been helping with it.
It's not, no Louis cutscene is a thing now. Cap wants to I made it a thing. It's not that hard. You basically, Julian, the idea is that you don't actually ever need to necessarily get Louis close to the red onion in the entire game. You just don't need it. You can do early blues with Louis. You can, so that Louis doesn't have to get close to the red onion there. You don't ever really go near the red onion and enter BK, right? You're never going red Pikmin again, so you never have to go near the onion again. And you can just, whenever you nap back to the ship, you can either nap back to the ship with Olimar, or nap back to the onions with Olimar, or you can make sure that you're napping back with Louis with a blue. And the result is Louis should just never be close to the onion. In general.
Also, am I crazy, or does Curtis just open the map by mashing start early?
That might have happened.
Yeah, he definitely did, judging by the camera spam. The good old mash Z because I'm tilted already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still just like to admire Jack's side egg push.
Jack, yeah, well, Jack does is also like very, very, very fast, which is part of the. Yeah, this was very good.
And now Jack is actually just ahead because he was just speedy.
Right. I mean, you know, small flubs, and Jack just doesn't flub this stuff. And you see, but then Curtis gets the double nectar. No.
I think he still flowered everybody, so we're good.
To answer chat, Louis Skip. Louis Skip is still better, Julian, because avoiding Louis Skip still takes extra time. Like, it still takes time to avoid the Louis cutscene, but the Louis cutscene is like 12 seconds. So even if you take like 4 or 5 seconds to avoid the cutscene, it's still better than playing the cutscene. Of course, it's better to just get the cutscene skip and not have to worry about it at all, right? It's just better to get the skip, and then you don't have to worry about it ever. But otherwise, you know, Jack opting to play it. I'm assuming Curtis is probably also going to opt to play it. Yeah. They don't want to mess with it.
But Curtis flashed like the horse on the beach man on his stream for like a second.
Man.
Curtis
has to not get so down on himself when mistakes happen. Because, like, I mean, that's the thing is, like, Jack's also made mistakes. I mean, Jack made a mistake loading the bull board for sure. You know. And so, like, I mean, we can tabulate how far behind Curtis is, but you got to subtract, like, a second and a half because Jack's stream started a second and a half earlier. Like, he's probably less than 10 seconds back.
Right, for Citrus Pie, we're gonna have to have a word with us after. But yeah. Pie says it's about 5 seconds back, okay. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
We're just not getting the EU one-shots. And probably... Oh. Yes, is losing a Pikmin.
So what? So yeah, so Curtis is only, look, for all of this lane, Curtis is only like 6 seconds back. Maybe. Roughly.
It's like 6 seconds is like easy to get back like mid-game by just like...
I don't. Okay, so see, the whole point is that 6 seconds isn't that far back, but if you freak out about it and play kind of sloppy, then it's gonna cascade into like worse and worse stuff. And I don't want to be hypocritical here. This is something that I have to work on all the time. This is like a big problem I have, right? I'll make a mistake and then I'll get tilted, and then I'll do worse. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying it in like, so like I do this all the time. So like I feel them. But like, you know, like, but for example, Curtis just got a little bit antsy on one. He C-sticked all of his Pikmin into the bull board instead of the orange, and he just needed to wait and C-stick a little later, and he would have been fine. But you know.
Yeah, like Mindset's bigger play into Pikmin 2 than most people realize. Oh, so is that just like activating the guys are early just a thing now, or does it not matter?
It doesn't matter according to Pickhacker. I don't like the flow of the sub-level like that, but people are welcome to do. I mean, Jack's fast, and he does it, so people are welcome to do whatever they like. I like the flow better when you just don't worry about the cutscene. You pluck as fast as possible, and then you play the cutscene while it moves. You know, you play the cutscene while the globe is moving. I prefer that way, but Curtis kind of flubbing the one-shots a little bit, which is unfortunate, but how it goes.
I mean, he does.
So one thing I don't like here is I don't like where Curtis was. I don't like where Curtis was, like, throwing the purples. It was fine, but I think it could have been better.
I think Curtis is trying to do the Alba thing where you leave a captain by the base to whistle the purple off the Bulborb.
Yeah.
Or he's not.
Yeah. It's all good. Yeah, so Curtis is about like 12 seconds back. I think it's very interesting though, because I think Curtis actually lost a lot of time on that EC compared to Jack. I think Jack was able to really muscle ahead here.
Yeah, we should see the repercussions of like Curtis's kind of like aggressive EC won by just losing some seconds in Awakening Wood because Gates.
Yep. Yeah, you know, it's not too bad. I like, I don't know. I think like in general this is like again pretty close. Like Jack has Curtis's early game is not his like stronger suit. I mean, it's his strongest suit, and Jack's early game is incredible. So I think he's behind like only a standard deviation beyond like what's expected. I think the big thing is Curtis just can't let himself get tilted when small things happen.
Yeah.
Because Pikmin 2 is a game of small things, and small things are just going to happen. And so, like, I think you have to just kind of be ready for that. You see? So, like, for example, how Jack organizes Pikmin here, he kind of got himself in trouble. He kind of got saved a little bit because one of the Pikmin didn't grab onto the gate. And so he had a spare Pikmin, so he's actually, even though they didn't carry a 1 pellet, he kind of got bailed. Because he had an extra leaf Pikmin to carry that 1 pellet. That normally wouldn't be there. So that's, I will say, reasonably bailed.
For those who are seasoned veterans of watching Pikmin 2 streams, we call that EU RNG.
Well, yeah. I mean, it just in that, like, it's bad luck. It's somewhat it's kind of complicated, but having that 1 pellet not grabbed is somewhat of a small skill issue, but when you're going fast, it's easy. It's harder to confirm that they carry both. There's a way of doing it so that they always carry both, but sometimes when you're rushing, you don't get that, right? And there is obviously a little bit of a luck element of like where the posies are oriented, for sure. But Jack, but instead of that that pellet posy not being carried, and it's like, oh well, how is Jack going to use his Pikmin resources? He just had an extra Pikmin to carry that, so somewhat damage mitigated. One of the mums got turbo snacked on, so there you go. Curtis took like 5 bajillion years to throw the red Pikmin onto the whatchamacallit, and I'm not really sure why.
The Bronet.
But that's fine. One got eaten for the Kurt as well. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, so Curtis is like, he didn't really lose a lot of time on that sub-level. He's still about like 11 seconds back, which is where he was out of EC. So he did fine. I think Jax did fine here. There wasn't a ton of bugs, but he made sure to kill all the ones in between.
These whole beasts are just like medium speed, medium money. So it's kind of just
right. Well, I mean, I kind of like these RNGs a little bit more, like just in general, honestly, because especially if you only get 2 Pokos in Emergence Cave, if you don't get any bugs on Holo Beast 1, you are broke. You are poor. You know what I mean? Like B-R-O-C, K, B-R-O, Brock? What am I spelling? B-R-O-K-E. What the hell am I even doing? No, I do note the really good, the super rare in room spawn. Kind of bad
here.
Sprout RNG to really take advantage of it, but that's okay. That happens. Something that isn't in set seed is like where the Sprouts are. But yeah, Curtis was, I think, able to milk advantage a little bit more. And I actually think Curtis genuinely actually saved time on that.
Yeah, he like gained a few seconds there even.
I think no, but I think he saved a lot of time on Jack on that growth segment. Something that a lot of people don't realize unless you do sub splits what a lot of people don't realize is like these growth segments have like some very real variability and depth to them, you know? Like it's kind of hard, right? Because you're just like, oh, well, you're just growing 10 purples. But especially when you have subsplits, like I notice sometimes I'm saving 2 seconds, sometimes I'm losing 2 seconds. You know, like they aren't like set layouts, you know what I mean? Like you can have good layouts and bad layouts, and like certainly many ways that the sprouts are oriented and like how the captains are plucking, they can really introduce like a lot of variance in what you would think would be mostly a set floor. Hula Beast 2 is kind of a smaller version of this, but you really see this on like White Flower Garden. Not White Flower Garden, but on Subterranean Complex 4 with the white flowers, like you can be 10 seconds slower than gold if the flower layouts are bad. Or if the
like
layouts are good, you can save 10 seconds on average. You know, like, you know, however you want to say it. Interesting to see. So Jack is opting to do the separation here, which I don't hate. Is he going to get Matites is the question.
What is Curtis doing?
Curtis is also deciding to separate.
Okay.
But he got confused over where the card was. He basically played it the same. He's getting the Matites, which is just smart because you don't get a lot of money there. I think this is kind of smart. The only thing that I don't like about what Curtis did that I don't like is I think you have to throw some reds on the bull board, right? Like this is just now moving too slow,
that's so far
and you just had to kind of know that it was moving too slow, and it's not the end of the world. What I would have done is I would have long thrown, and then I would have thrown like 5 or 6 reds, right, just to get it moving a little bit faster early, right? Because now, yeah, I think it's hard. I think Jack just had a better like start. Like he just was kind of able to do that separate cleaner, and he's not even going for fast Empress. Oh, that's interesting.
What the heck?
He just doesn't want to go for it. He just doesn't want to risk time or risk anything.
Interesting.
I mean, maybe this is like Jack's way of kind of like showing off. You know? Like Jack's like, I don't need to win. I don't need to get fast Empress to win. I do, however, think that like yeah, Curtis should just go for it.
Curtis is doing fastest Empress.
I mean, it's the smart thing for him to do. Yeah, he got it. And now he's you know, and he's now saved a lot of time on Jack.
Yeah, he saved a solid like 10 or 12 seconds.
He's not gonna, you know, he's still a little bit behind, but now it's definitely a lot closer. I think Jack is kind of being cocky here a little bit. Like I think Jack has a little bit of sense of like, okay, well, these 15 seconds don't really matter. Which I mean, fair play. I think Jack just wants consistency, and he doesn't want to. I think what he also want to do is he doesn't want to make a critical error that would cause a reset. Because, like, Jack's good, but I don't think Jack is so good that he would be super confident that if he had to reset the floor for any reason, that he would be guaranteed to win.
Yeah, like Jack's game plan is like, let's say he is on average, let's say 2 minutes faster than Curtis, like, for a run. And if you make a mistake like that, you've lost that buffered time. Then it's like an even race. So then if you play safe by losing 15 seconds,
worth noting that not only
still ahead by minutes.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I also just noticed just now, worth noting, Curtis is 7 Pokos ahead of Jack.
How'd that happen?
Jack didn't get the he didn't even get the bull board. It was too slow for him. This is Jack's whole thing though, where he just like the 7 Pokos aren't worth it. I debatably agree. I think it's a little bit tricky. I think the big thing is like if you're broke, the thing about skipping that kind of stuff early is it's very big. If I get like assume that you get lens overall mindset, because like maybe those 7 Pokos don't matter that much, but if you're like in general in the run philosophy, it's like, oh well, if you don't get lens, you're kind of screwed. Like being broke sucks. And the easiest way to not be broke is to be rich early. It just you know. Now, again, I know what Jack's going to say. Jack's going to say, well, I don't know, Alex, in a British accent. Like you can farm more bugs in Snaggered Hole or something. But I'm like, but the thing is, it's just it's easy. It's more controllable. Time lost in early game.
Well, also it's like how these players just assume how that runs will go. Because I'd assume Jack will always play for Lend because A, has many world records. B, he just gets Lend more often. It feels like. And then Curtis.
Yeah, he also gets a lot of runs to
He'll
Snaggered
play,
Hole.
assuming that he
I
won't
think
get
there's
Lend.
a large element of you get more runs to Snaggered Hole, you're gonna get more runs. The more runs you get to Snaggered Hole, the more runs with Lens you're gonna get, right? Just like mathematically.
Yes.
I do think there's a little bit of that I think sometimes people get muddied in the statistics, where like people who go to Snaggered Hole more are also going to get Lens more.
Is that purple latching on for Jack? Curtis is. Oh wait. Curtis did not get the cap.
Yeah, that's smart. You don't need to get the cap yet. I don't think.
Yeah, the heart's definitely farther. He's also getting a body
Yeah.
here. But
I mean, this is terrible RNG, but Curtis did the right thing. I wouldn't. Okay, so here's the problem: is that if Curtis does this, Curtis has to do what I do, which is like C-stick Pikmin onto that and kill that early. I think the time taken to kill that worth it, but it is gonna slow down. But if he had killed the Blowhog like with C-sticking on the way, like this, still the first treasure he loaded got in first. Because he took the 3 or 4 seconds to kill the Blowhog. Now, I get what Curtis is doing here. Again, Curtis is now going to have, but now look how much time he has to wait, right? I think that not getting it is fine, but I think if you're going to do that, you either have to C-stick the Blowhog and kill it on the way, or you have to C-stick and kill it on the way, or you have to just not get it at all. Right? Because Curtis took the time to kill the Blowhog, and that put him behind. For sure. Not too much to say here. This is actually one, though, of course, with... This is, of course, one of those ones where, just the sprouts are coming up can save or lose you a couple seconds. Not much you can do about that. And, this is set seed, but that's the kind of stuff that set seed isn't going to account for because RNG is going to progress somewhat erratically once you start playing a sub-level.
Yeah, so those who don't know, seed basically determines what the caves look like and like where rooms are placed, but does not determine stuff like where is a bull bear going to move, or like where the sprout's gonna go, and same with the above ground, like the pellet colors.
Well, I think at this point it's good to be very specific. So what the set seed code is doing, right, is right before cave generation, it's resetting the seed to a predetermined value. Right? So like basically the RNG seed is going to be whatever it is, like as you naturally play through the game. But then right before cave generation, like the moment right before that, the RNG value is changed to a given value. But then during the game, the RNG is progressing, like the seed is progressing, many times a second as normal, basically.
Also worth noting, Curtis has 2 leaf whites still.
Yep. There is a way of fixing that, but you have to be very fast with it.
Okay, Curtis is doing the... Okay, yeah. So Jack did
So
the thing
I don't think with how fast Curtis did it, I don't think there was that heavy of a time difference. I'm gonna be for real.
Yeah.
Like Jack brought his Pikmin through and then dismissed, and it was slightly faster, but that was such a quick dismiss from Curtis. He probably only lost like a half second.
Yeah, I don't think
Still
any of his
slower,
leaves got
but
on the
I don't know.
treasure.
I thought that was actually pretty clean.
Look, it's clean snagger. You're gonna off screen that's hoping for a nice launch. We got a good angle. Oh, that's a nice launch from Jack there. Curtis
Yeah.
did not get a good angle at all.
God's favorite. Oh, but then it slid weird.
It
Doesn't
slid
really
quite a
doesn't really
ways
matter.
down.
But I'm just saying, if it didn't slide weird, it would have been a huge advantage.
I feel like Curtis doesn't need to do that. He did fast enough.
Yeah, it's fine.
That was good.
I don't think I lost him any time.
Because it's fine as long as you don't whistle too many off. Like, if you do min whistles, it's quite fast. Yeah, JPEG
Jack's saving, just in case.
No time.
Just in case what happens to Kemi happens to him. Yeah, you know, Curtis is about, 10-ish seconds back, maybe a little more. Okay, yeah, maybe closer to like 15, 20. But that's just how it goes. Jack got first try knapsack here, so it's over basically. Nothing more to say there. Whenever I face people in a race, that's what I worry about. Well, these knapsacks, both the EB knapsack and the Snaggerle knapsack. Snaggerle knapsack is just a coin flip, but those knapsacks, yeah, purple got lost. Yeah, but like those knapsacks are really easy ways of accidentally like falling behind people. Jack is really, for Patch, he's like really, he really took his time there.
Yeah, that was.
I guess he really just does
safe.
not want to flub, I guess.
I guess that falls.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm just saying, like, Curtis, send it. Nah, Curtis is also doing his thing. Like, you don't have Patch.
Also, really doing.
You can't soft lock. Just full send.
Yeah, Curtis should not have spent that much time lining that up.
Like, spent a lot of time. I'm just saying, like, this is the kind of stuff where I'm like, I don't want to be callous, but I'm like full send. Like if you've been playing this game long enough, you should be able to like cowboy early blues enough at least to guarantee a warp every time.
Okay, that was second try for Jack, which could put.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. That's the thing, right? Like you want a good try because like, wow, all right.
Yeah, see, that can help Curtis. There's a free 10 seconds of time save.
Right. I'm just saying, like, but like that knapsack. I mean, imagine it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens enough times that I'm thinking, like, imagine if you got, like ninth try blue or something like that, right? Like that would be really demoralizing in a race. So I'm just saying it's good that didn't happen here, right? It's objectively good.
Yeah, Jack, I think that the burrow knit on Enter Hold Beast just lost 1 second there, so now it should be even. And Curtis's gate is fast enough. I don't know why Curtis is fast enough, considering he's one less red.
Yeah, Curtis did good here. Curtis did good. I still, by the way, Jack is still broke his shit. And Curtis is like marginally less broke. Kind of an important. Again, I'm unsure whether or not it will completely turn the tide of this race, but functionally, when it comes to time save later, this is something that people should. Okay, Curtis? I know what Curtis did wrong here. He threw a Pikmin back at the sheer grub to try to carry it. Right, he wants that money, but doing that, his squad didn't give his squad time to organize, and that is of course where. Gets a little bit tricky because, like your squad didn't have enough time to organize here. But like, yeah, Curtis waits here. He has like 10 pogos on Jack. At this point, he should probably just wait. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
gonna
there
be
you go.
Curtis's game.
Yeah, he has 13 Pokos on Jack, and oh my god, this layout's horrible. Oh, this layout's
Yeah,
big.
so this
bad.
is just a classic Snagger Hole 2. We had long way around the ship, plus water, plus far strawberry, so yeah.
Actually terrible. I agree wholeheartedly with Curtis just ditching the purples.
Yeah, Curtis is doing the right thing of just not bringing his purples, so just not gonna fight.
I don't think I understand that Jack just didn't want to waste time separating Pikmin at the beginning. That's why Jack did what he did, but you know, like there's just all these. Yeah, just go past. What are you doing? No, just run.
Curtis,
okay.
go past right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I was gonna say you C-stick and you gamble there 100%.
Yeah, because you C-stick on the right side and hope the mom wakes up late.
Right, 100%. I think that that's also like very much like in terms of methodology. Like, if you're gonna not bring the purples, you gotta kind of go in a little bit on that. All right, so Curtis is doing okay. Yes,
Yeah, good
timing
timing
on
with
the
the mum
mums
there.
here.
Jack
The
probably
mum,
off-screen
the
that a
mum is
little
gonna
bit
plant itself,
early.
which is good. I think Curtis
Yeah.
is smart for doing that.
Did Curtis lose the purple?
Possibly.
I think he has all
The
the purple.
purple, no, it couldn't be. It had to be a red, right? How could he have lost the
No,
purple?
I saw a purple ghost.
I don't know where that purple would have gone.
It was
Because he didn't bring
it was a
purples, right?
It was a sheer grub. It was by the flower.
Maybe. I think Curtis actually played better than Jack here.
Yeah, he definitely outplayed Jack here.
I
tilted still from early game
which, you
for
know,
some reason.
like I mean, you know, I don't think he outplayed Supreme, but I think he actually like shortened the lead a little bit. Between Jack and Curtis, I actually think Curtis played this better. I think Jack. I understand what Jack was going for, right? Just like full send, but I think even if you just like go and C-stick and just dismiss and don't bring your purples, it's just way better. Purples just are a drag. They just drag on resources, and like the way I see it, like you don't even want to kill anything in the far room. Unless you have to. Well, you don't really want to kill anything in the far room. Like, not really. Because
Curtis need more picks than that, I think.
no, he's fine.
I can cover.
Oh god.
The chat, you just got wienered. Curtis, I
Good
assume
lord.
will also do that.
Yeah, I think Jack was somehow a little faster here. I'm if I'm gonna be for real, I'm not even really sure how. But
Well, Jack had like 38 Pikmin on the gate. Curtis had like 32.
yeah, I guess small differences, right? So we know where the beetle is. It's not in this room, you know. Or no, it is in that room. Sorry,
Oh,
I
it
lied.
is.
Ah, I lied.
You wish
I-
this was AT, huh?
That was very good gauge masking though. It wasn't closer than the marble. Is I guess what I was trying to get at, because you knew it wasn't closer than the marble because of where the gauge was, but it
Curtis,
could
I would put
obviously be
more on the
farther from the
marble.
marble because it's not gonna contribute to the gauge as much.
That
I would nectar some shit here, Curtis.
flower your
Or-
reds and your whites.
Yeah, I kind
Yeah.
of agree with this play. I think it's just wise. Don't try to change carries, dude. Just run.
Don't change those. Thank you.
That's fine. Yeah, I think at some point you just got to know when to run. I think Curtis took too much time trying to nectar everybody. Like, I just would have nectared what you had. I think it's kind of hard. I don't know. It's kind of hard. I do kind of agree that, like, Curtis gets some mileage on now versus later.
Snagger Hole 5 is like one of those catch-up floors that you can just like hope your opponent does not get the marble in time, so if this could be big for Curtis or Jack. Just far beetle here. No, not far.
Yeah. So the big question, of course, is, like, where's the bull board, right?
Okay, so Jack did not check that last part when the gauge was on, so like he kind of checked those spots, but like not thoroughly, and when the gauge was not working.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is that kind of stuff makes it apparent. Like, I think Jack going the other way is wise.
Okay, Curtis is spending a little bit of time changing that, which I disagree with.
The thing
Like,
about
Whistle's
Curtis is
probably gonna
that
be too
it's
slow
one of
now.
those hard ones where like Curtis didn't do anything wrong, but like objectively, like the whistle's gonna be a little slow. If the whistle still gets in before the marble gets in, then I eat my words. I'm just wondering about the
I just think
ratio
it'll
of
be
carries
slow.
here,
You don't need to kill that.
right? Yeah, see,
Okay, the
whistle's a
whistle
little
is
too
slow.
slow.
And yeah,
That's the thing is,
now it's
yeah,
gonna fall down
I
the
think
slope.
this is
so
just
he's
something
going down
that
the slope.
Jack did a little bit better here. Is I think what Jack did a little bit better here is, Jack was able to just like keep the carry on the whistle somewhat solid. Because you don't have to bring that many Pikmin to the marble, right? You know, just some whites and some reds. Jack is opting to opt for the 25. He's then going this way,
This is not a lens full.
unless
What is he doing?
I don't know what he's doing.
I'm
Oh, he's
very
doing a
confused.
lens. I know. He's doing a different
Okay.
lens check.
Yeah.
He's doing. I kind of disagree with this.
Yeah,
There's
this
several
is like
reasons.
slow.
Yeah. Well, he's saying that, but I just wouldn't have. I don't know. This is, I guess, why I'm bad at these races. Is what I would have done is not ferry all my Pikmin across yet. I would have just walked. I would have walked there, and I would have seen it.
Curtis should
And I
see
would
it about
stop
now.
whistling. We're fine. They're gonna live, but you gotta go. Yeah.
You only have to whistle Pikmin once after water. You don't need to do it again.
Yeah. Oh wow, there's no crash. That's crazy.
Oh, the game stayed running. I didn't know that could happen.
That's nuts. Yeah, Curtis still grew the Pikmin, which is fine. I like the dismiss here, pretty good.
Well, there's like 7 reds.
Yeah,
in the
this
game,
is
which
solid.
Might matter. You're probably saying lens is gettable, but just you gotta search for it. That's like Max would get the lens, nobody else would. Okay. He threw reds a little late there. Which means this will be 2 cycles. Because yeah, PS is AI.
What? So wait, yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking at Jax. What happened to Curtis?
Yeah, so for Curtis, he kind of threw reds after right after it started to initiate like the peck.
So he just threw reds really late.
Yeah. Also, Jack got
Free
my
money
height,
for
so
Curtis.
he's not getting them. So. Why are Jack's carry so slow? Wait, what? Wait, that's Curtis. I'm so bad. I'm watching the wrong screen.
I think Curtis played SH2 objectively better, but I think Jack just had his squad management a little bit tighter for the rest of the levels. I don't think Curtis is playing particularly bad though. I mean, I think Curtis is keeping it like somewhat reasonably close, all things considered.
Yeah, although he's losing a lot
But
of
he
time.
lost a lot of the time on 7. Like we should be very clear. Like we think like Curtis is how far behind Curtis is right now, which has now gone like extremely high. I don't know. Like I'm like
half
thinking
that
like
was that sub level.
I don't know. I think it's like 30 seconds. It's actually somewhat bonkers. It was not excellent. I like kind of what Jack did here in terms of Pikmin movement.
He has like 1 leaf.
I guess
Oh,
we need to do that.
oh, the
See what
white.
he's doing here. Yeah. Wow. So, okay. I guess if you just ball hard enough, you lose no time. That's crazy.
Okay, Curtis
I don't
not getting
know
the
how
EU
to
one shot.
be that good, but I'll work on that. The hard part is doing the bullborn throws. I just need to practice that split. This was fine. I like this part, honestly, as long as you get the naps first try, the actual speed of this part is somewhat irrelevant.
Yeah.
Because you perp swap and the globe has to get in. So if you do this like with a certain degree of speed, like doing it this fast, it's not bad, but I don't know. It's like you did it fast enough that it almost doesn't matter. Jack kind of did something cool by accident. Nothing wrong with doing something cool by accident. Jack did something cool by accident. Just where like a cutscene, he longed through a blue, and the cutscene cut the blue's momentum. And the cutscene cut the blue's momentum. Oh wait, is he not? Yeah, I was gonna say, is he not gonna handle that? No, but the cutscene cut the blue's momentum, and it ended up grabbing another pellet that he needed to throw anyway. So obviously he didn't mean to do it. Like he meant to long throw, but it didn't matter.
Also, I guarantee if Curtis will just stop matching camera buttons, he'll just literally move faster over the course of the level.
Yeah, Curtis is just getting tilted because he knows he... Look, if he wasn't... The thing is, I don't think Curtis even realized how close it was before 7. That's the thing. Like, I don't know. It's the same way where, like, Heartpiece, like, versus... Was it Kira? Like, Heartpiece was getting down on himself, and he's like, oh, there's no way I'm going to win. And, like, Heartpiece actually kept it, like, really close for most of it. You know?
Yeah. And missing the snap for Curtis, that definitely hurts.
Yeah.
Hello?
I get, like, extremely ruined, which is, like, fine. I get it. Interestingly, Curtis is having a better time on the globe than Jack did. Kind of unclear why.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of other reasons, Curtis isn't really going to even reap the rewards of this incredibly fast globe because he has to pluck. But Curtis just kind of did better on the globe. Curtis did grow the whites, but Jack still felt like he dragged it. I don't know, interesting. Sometimes I need to do... There's so many things I want to lab. Like, especially on how you C-stick Pikmin. Jack doing the objectively correct thing here.
Yeah. Ooh,
The lure. You can lure with a Pikmin, lure with a captain. Doesn't really matter here too much. Jack doesn't have lens. He needs to start getting these bodies, though. I mean, Jack is just broke as shit.
He's waiting for this one. He knows.
He's just so broke. Like, it's gonna be fine, and like, it's considering like the fact that Curtis is now like, I hate to say it, Curtis is now like a minute back, like more than a minute back, right? So like, it doesn't really matter how broke Jack is in like the context of this race, obviously. Because, like, Jack isn't so broke that he's going to lose a minute farming it later. But, like, Jack is broke.
Yeah.
Like, he is B-R-O-K-E. See, I spelled it right this time. I did it, gamers.
You didn't say Brock.
I didn't say...
Curtis doing
like,
the
the dude has no money. The dude has no money. I don't mind how Curtis played this. That's fine. I don't think Jack, like, surgically threw a white, but... I don't think that how Curtis lured was bad. I think what Curtis did do is Curtis needed to start attacking the bullboard earlier. Good rule of thumb here. Good rule of thumb here. If you're seeing the bullboard start to do its thing where it's looking around and start to head back, you have attacked it too late. You need to attack it on approach. I'm sorry, I'm exhausted. I will be doing runs later, though. I will be trying to convince people that I'm not garbage at the video game.
Takes the first step to stop moving, then you throw purples.
But yeah, I want to see how Curtis plays 2, and also how Jack plays 4.
Okay, that white trip is almost bad.
Yeah.
There's a Wally Wog. I guess Wally Hop now. My apologies.
It's GCN Pikmin 2, so it's still Wollywog. Got him. GG's.
For those damn bricks, I don't want to say a score live on Twitch.
People can call it whatever they want, as long as it's an official title. I don't want to say whatever they want. You know, I mean, there was... Jack did this thing where he just, like, he didn't see stick far enough. You knew where it was, dog. just like, go.
Just see stick the white slot, don't throw. Okay.
I mean, Jack also conveniently is getting the nectar here, but...
Yeah,
that's
crazy how that works sometimes.
It's fine. I don't think there's anything... Oh, you didn't need to. You didn't need to do that, dog. You were fine. Jack playing a little hole. Jack knows he's ahead.
Yeah.
Jack knows he's ahead. He's playing safe. That's fine. He's allowed to play safe. The man has earned playing safe. Getting to the hole is fine because he wanted to get that bug anyway, which he did. So there you go.
Also, it just time saves if you zoom out while going to the hole, because then you know when it is. So you can press A like sooner.
Curtis kind of went through. He's checked. So Curtis, I don't know. I think if it's chimney room, you want to check for good RNG. I think otherwise you need to just assume that it's one of them is in the chimney room. It's just there's just too many spawn points in the chimney room. Okay, at least Curtis, like,
Yeah, this is faster.
well, that part
slide was actually bad.
Yeah, like a lot faster. Like I don't know. Like that's where I'm just like, yeah, Curtis outplayed.
Yeah, he gained
the
like
second collection here.
15 seconds there.
I genuinely think, except for the first little bit, if Curtis had lured the Wally hop back to the fucking spawn, I think he would have outplayed Jack on that split for sure. Jack spent too much time waffling. It's time. Sometimes you waffle. I'm not trying to clown on Jack. I'm just saying like different. No spawn point near the Wally walk. I agree, JPEP. I agree that they're clowns and that they should be clowned on for it. Cook them. Get them. No. In general, there's also just more spawn points in the chimney room. That's just something you gotta know.
Oh,
Curtis is playing too differently from Jack, though. I'm just looking. Their time save.
And again, if he wasn't mashing camera buttons, he could have just entered the hole half a second sooner there. Yeah, after 7, we should get a good gauge in like how much Jack made up in BK, if at all, in Pocos.
Well, I want to see what the Poco differential is. I still think Jack's broke as shit, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think Jack's gotten the bugs that you are like legally obligated to get.
I don't think I've gotten any more.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Jack's broke as shit. I think Jack is like insanely broke. Again, this is one of those things where it's kind of hard, like especially in a race, because he's gonna be like, well, I was fast, and I'm like, yeah, you were fast. You could have been like almost as fast with like way more money. Like,
okay,
you know, I don't know. I do think that there's a line, right? I think that like. And this is sometimes why I think it's kind of hard, because like I do think that sometimes the problem is it's all on the margins, right? Like you don't want to collect every single bug, obviously, right? But like at a certain point, there's like a diminishing returns where like you eventually start skipping bugs that you will need to get later.
Yeah, so
like,
I actually quite like what Curtis did on 6 by throwing red off of the captain by the fossil. So he guaranteed 30 Pikmin on there, so more whites grabbed on.
Jack got the wallet. I have no clue what Jack was just swag napping, I guess. But yeah, I just want to see this. So what? He's 55. Yeah, he's like 4920.
Yeah, he's 4920.
Broke. 4910. Broke. Yeah, I can't. No, 4920. Yeah.
That's 4920. JPEP, you're supposed to be the math guy.
JPEP. Yeah, God, I had it right. I had it right, and then my man's was like not a believer. But
when JPEP types in Twitch chat, you pay attention to that.
It's okay. It's okay. Then he's next time I try to figure out Galois groups or something. JPEP will be like, you know nothing about math, you clown. So it's even. It's okay. I don't know anything about math. He's got my ass. Yep. You guys are supposed to know that 420 is okay money. That is just incorrect, dog. 4940. 4940 is baseline for no lens. It's fine. I don't know why I'm doing air quotes. I don't have cam on, but like, it's fine. It's fine, but you're broke. Like that's like no money. Like you have to like farm. Like if you're at 4920, you have to farm. 4940 is baseline. If you're not somewhere between 4930 and 4940, I think you did not collect enough bugs for no lens. That's not a new opinion, by the way. That's an old baseline that I'm.
Oh wait, he's not cast. Okay, he's 49.
Again, this is a hard thing. It's fine, but like you are gonna have to farm later. Like almost assuredly, you're gonna have to farm later. Like
It's a
4920
4942,
is
which
almost
good.
like you would bank on cookie money. If Subterranean Complex and Frontier Cavern aren't good for money, like you would almost bank on cookie at 4920 at the top.
Dave,
level.
I'm sorry, but
I
your
do.
math is still not lining up, my guy. He is 4942.
Like Curtis is like no, Curtis is good on money. For sure.
Cask is 6. JPEP doesn't know how much Cask is worth. Oh my god.
Dude, JPEP does no fucking clue what's going on. It's okay. I'm sorry,
It's
JPEP.
okay, man.
I'm not trying to clown on you. Some L's recently. It's all good, dog.
Maybe you should learn how much Cask is
You
worth. You're not always gonna get it.
you had said nothing, JPEP. No one would have been. This is the thing where I don't feel bad making fun of you for it because you brought it up. If you had just not said anything and privately in your own brain said, "No way, Cask is 60," we wouldn't have known. There's no way you would have known. But no, you made the mistake of typing in chat. No way is a treasure and payoff debt of value that the people who have played this game for a long time. No, I'm sorry. You opened yourself up.
If
You
you
opened
hear
yourself up for
entertainment, you could be on comms.
Entertainment, baby. Yeah,
Although,
so Chris is
you have succeeded in being entertaining.
no. Any case, look, all I'm trying to say is like, okay. Again, it'll be interesting to see how the money evolves, man, because I do think. Look, I'm not condoning all of the different ways that Curtis is playing it, but I do think that Curtis's bugs are really good. Like, just objectively. Like, I think 4942 is like, if you get a nominal amount of bugs, your bug farming in Perplexing Pool is going to be minimal. It will be very interesting to see how much Jack needs to farm. Now, in one of my old 134 PBs, I also was like 4919. It was fine. I just had to get 70 Pokos in Frontier Cavern. This ended up PBing, by the way, at the time. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying... So, like, I don't know what fine means, right? Like, okay and fine to me are not very descriptive. It just means you have to farm the shit out of bugs later. Is that fine? I mean, sure, maybe. But you have to somewhat marginally weigh it against, like, how much time it would take you to farm it now versus later.
K-Pep says, yap, revenge. I'm sure you don't know how much SCX6 Bolt is worth.
The XCS6 Bolt? Does he think I don't know how much a... Like, what? That's 70... Is that the 75 one?
Oh, no, Cap. You are incorrect, my guy.
Was it 80? No, shit. Damn. I know the names better than the Poco values, which is that more unhinged?
That is very unhinged, considering you are, like, former top 3 pod.
Everyone knows Bolt is 80. Ah, God. Do you know what I always get it confused with? I always get it confused somehow because there's the Bolt on SCX3 that's, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Bolt on SCX3 is like 60, right?
I think that one's 60, yeah.
Yeah, that one's 60. Too many bolts in this game. What am I? Is there another one that I'm thinking of? Is there another Bolt? There might not be another Bolt. I'm just trying to double check. I'm like, am I?
I think there's only the 2 in SCX.
Yeah, there's 2 Bolts. Yeah, there's those in SCX. Yeah, I know. Wait, so I know the Beetle one is 60. I don't know why I'm blanking on. What's the one that's 75? Ah, the SCX5 one. There's an SCX5 treasure that's 75. That's what I'm thinking of. There we go. All right. No, it's fine. We're back. Curtis, that's just not where you throw Pikmin, dog. You're spraying and you're praying, and you kind of got bailed there.
Yeah, like, there's a spot you do it, that was not the spot.
But this is the thing, is like, you're wildly
that
throwing.
Purple's not going to grab the captain, by the way.
That thing Jack wildly throws, but he can, I guess, like, move his fingers fast enough to, like, kind of account for him being wild. Jack, like, I don't know, like, just do what works. Like, trying to look like Jack and failing is just not as fast, unfortunately, I fear.
Also, I think Curtis's purple didn't grab the captain when it knapsack because it was kind of doing the weird dismiss thing on the slope.
It will carry eventually, as long as it doesn't grab onto the scrap. I actually want to see if Curtis is gonna beat out the cutscene. It's gonna be close. Curtis didn't do anything terribly wrong here, though. He just,
Did
yeah.
not beat the cutscene.
I think that's almost fine, except that that he can't throw during lockout, right? So getting in early is fine because it's not gonna collide, but he now can't throw during lockout, which is fine. What the fuck? Oh, so he's getting. I see. He knows. You see, he knows he's low, so he's coping. I do not think he played.
It's not up here, man. It's not up here.
I do not condone. I do not condone.
What is he doing?
On this. It's also not here.
Well, what is?
It's also not here, dude. It's not in the.
Dude, it's not here.
Okay. We need to have a conversation later.
Why
about
are we?
this.
What are we doing?
Okay, you know.
It's not.
I'm
It's not
genuinely.
moving.
Yeah, it's a split layout. Why would you? Okay, you know what? You know what? You know what? It's fine. I'm going to choose not violence today.
Also,
but this was a fairly.
This might
easy
go
story.
to the wrong side.
It's okay. I make mistakes all the fucking time. I'm not trying to say that like it's the end of the world, but that was something
that
could
was something. That
possibly
bolt
been
was not
avoided
getting in. Why are
with a
you killing
slow
it?
lead. The good news
Oh,
is that it
he's
doesn't. This is the thing. Like Jack can just afford to do this. Like it just doesn't matter. I think him getting the tape is fine. I don't know if I would,
All right, Jay.
but it makes the money good.
Like the way he got tape was just not it though.
Well, I think he just didn't. Wait, so I don't know. I think Jack just maybe didn't see the side maybe just didn't see the other room. I don't know. I don't want to clown on him. He might not have seen the other room. Let's see. Does Curtis use his brain? Does Curtis use his brain? Is Curtis using his brain? He is not using his brain. Curtis is not using his brain.
Where are you going? It's not in there.
No,
Oh my
but
God.
this is the dude. I don't know. And look. If this was someone else, I'm only clowning on them because they should know better, right? Like if these were not like some of the top people who play Pikmin in the world, I wouldn't clown on them so hard. But you got to know this. You have to know this. It's a split layout, and one of the treasures is not in the alcove. Like, come on a little bit. Like both of these players need to be better than that if they want to, not have me shit on them. Like you have to be better than that. Jack. Oh, by the way, Jack played 2 fine. I don't know. Like he played it okay.
The good old.
I don't think I would have played it.
With SCX1 during the next 3 sub.
I'm just saying, like, this is the kind of stuff where, like, if we're gonna be watching top players run, I'm gonna start talking about what top players should be doing.
Yes, 100%.
Right. Right, and like a top player should have looked at that split and had immediately U-turned and gone to the other door. And I'm only saying that because I know they both know better. They both 100% know this.
I would have put a little. Okay.
No, that's fine. Go. Ignore this.
Yeah, you don't need it. That purple's dead.
All right, no, it's fine. It's fine. That purple is dead, though, yeah?
It's
Yeah.
not fine.
No, that's fine. 2 purples is fine. You can kill him. I don't agree with... agree with the intentional sack. What you would do here... Oh, man, okay. There's several things you could do here, but I think what both Jack and Curtis did is when you commit to bringing the whole squad, there's considering... Oh, man. See, I don't know. So, like, what Jack's doing here... I guess what Jack's doing here is fine. I was gonna say you could dismiss and load the spring earlier. But
The hole's there, leave somebody.
I don't know. I think there's a way of playing this with dismissing your whole squad, but he just wants to go around the world, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
He just wanted to bring everybody. I think that at some point in the middle room, I think you would kill this and then dismiss, and do like blues on one, whites on the other. I think that's one way of doing it. The way Jack played this is fine though. I think the big thing is like you can dismiss in the center room. Like Curtis is, yeah, okay, I mean,
Now
depends on
where
what
it
he
gets
wants to
sketchy
do.
territory.
Yeah, I don't hate this though. So if Curtis loads this with blues and then loads the, yeah, well, what are you doing? No, he's doing that with whites. Okay,
What? You just whistled them off. Don't put it back on.
No, yeah, it's fine. No, okay, he needs to. Wait, I would have done. So what I would have done is I just would have done blue spring, whites on gear here, and then switch back. Yeah. Now kill this thing. Kill this guy.
Don't
Mods,
whistle
kill
them.
this guy. But I would have been quick with it, right? Like you don't want to take a lot of. Okay, yeah. Well, it doesn't help that this was kind of weird cycling. Very good 4, by the way. Just, you know. Oh, I guess never mind. I misread where the hole was. Mid 4.
Well,
I
the
guess.
hole's not close.
Hole's not close. Yeah, I'm sorry. This was fine. I think like the thing about Curtis is this is a thing that if Curtis watches this back, and I know people are really bad at watching them back. I get it. Sometimes, especially when you're not playing great, it's sometimes embarrassing to watch your own VODs. But I feel like sometimes when you're not playing great, like those are when you should watch your own VODs, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
But I get it. Like it's embarrassing sometimes. I'm embarrassed. I sometimes don't watch my own VODs because I'm embarrassed, right? Like I'm not trying to be a hypocrite here, you know? But like Curtis spent a lot of time trying to get like the spring like perfect when he just needed to like see stick blues and go. Curtis is only a minute behind Jack though. He actually made up time here. Yeah, this is also the thing where it's hard, but like, of course, Curtis was very behind, but he was like 2 minutes behind Jack, and now he's only like a minute 20 behind Jack. Like Curtis objectively made up time here, and that's the thing is Curtis is gonna get down. I already know Curtis is gonna get down on himself, and he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I lost. It wasn't close." Blah blah blah. And I hate it just because like not even like a completely wide. Oh Jesus, long throwing. Purples here is a choice. That's okay. Jack, I was saying Curtis, but I was saying Jack. I kind of like what Jack did, but like, oh, and there it goes.
What?
All right. Not gonna pad that way.
He did play that pretty well.
I think Jack played it pretty well. I think what I would have done is, okay. There's a super secret hidden ninja strat that you can do if the CPU is last. And you don't need purples for it. The only thing I would have said for this is that what Jack realized right here is I would have put more blues, which you're not going to use anyway. I would have just put the blues on the second treasure. Right? Because you're not going to use that anyway. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that was Curtis's fault on that. But yeah. There you go. I mean, this is good. Kurt, too fast, too much on Kurt. Yep, Curtis has fixed that.
Yeah, also when turning white Pikmin onto poison guys, just throw it onto like the thing in the middle. They do damage when they land on it. Just makes it way faster.
See, but now Curtis needs this to carry. Just let the blues that we're killing on it carry.
Just put the blues, move on.
Okay, Curtis is smart enough to figure out. Nope, he's still not. Yet neither of these people are doing this. Dog, the treasure's right there. And you're carrying it with whites. The second treasure needs to be moving. Come on, come now. Hear ye. Jack played this correctly. He clocked this correctly. He's like, yeah, this large ass room has the treasure in it, as it almost always does.
Yeah, killing one white is better there. One
Perfect.
blue, I mean.
Jack, I don't think you can gamble on that.
Yeah, that is not correct.
I appreciate the attempt. I would have just walked right up to the. No, it's hard to know how much you distract. Honestly, Jack is kind of unpunished for it, so it's fine. It's whatever. Also, Jack had like the nastiest tower combat of all time. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was just perfect.
That was filthy, actually.
Hey, 7 bugs that Jack isn't getting.
Well, also, Jack got tape, right?
You
So
got
Jack
tape,
is
you don't
also, by
need
the way, now
bugs.
amazing on money. Like Jack doesn't have to worry about money anymore because he has tape. So that is an advantage of getting tape. I think like I don't know if tape was good enough, but I do think that if you are broke as shit, and let's be very clear here, Jack was broke as shit. If you're broke as shit, then oh yeah. Curtis took a little bit longer to figure it out, but he did realize that the same game plan that Jack was doing is the best game plan. But yes, if you're broke as shit, you gotta do if you're broke as shit, you gotta get tape, I think, or you gotta get something, right? It's either waste a lot of time farming like 70 bugs in FC, or something. But like
That Romeo is
no,
very awkward.
Curtis. Okay, so what Curtis needs to do right now is kill the tower, right?
Yeah.
Roman Going's gonna do whatever. You don't give a shit. You'll just distract it later. Tower first. Yes, now
Yeah,
whistle
let
and then
let that guy kill it.
Yes, it can.
Yeah.
That is a very common setup. That's very
Yes.
good. Yeah, that's good. Oh wait, now Curtis. Yep. Yes. I think it's fine. I think that like the big thing is like that initial
I
thing
disagree
where
with Reds
a
here.
little bit of time in the beginning. Oh, you didn't have to whistle them off of that, Curtis. You were fine. The thing, of course, is now you whistled off those purples, and now purples are here, which kind of slows down your movement here a little bit. Just run back. All right, switch. Yeah, everything's good. Jack getting out reds for some reason. Kind of getting out reds is a solid race strat. Like you would never do it in a run, in my opinion, but it's a solid race strat.
Yeah, I like it in a race
But,
more.
sorry, I for some reason my brain just completely evaporated. So my bad. But I was gonna say, a race strat of getting out the reds. Like I wouldn't do it, but what Jack is gambling on is that like if you have FC with more Pikmin, it's better. I don't think it's worth it in like the short run, but I think in a race it's good safety. Well, okay, but like, okay, so Curtis saved time on. Curtis is actually growing this for safety. He really doesn't like it. I think you got to do this on FC1.
Yeah, this is just really slow.
I think if you're gonna do it, you got to do it on FC1. FC1 also kind of sucks, though. I don't know. I think you just have to not do this. I think you just have to not lose your purples, actually. I don't know. You can, in theory, you would just flower the purples on like COS2. Is how you would play it. The idea for like the purple leaves, though, in that respect, is that you would never actually, you don't use them like long term in the squad. Like you leave them behind a lot. It's only for firepower. It's only for close combat firepower. Like when the bull bear is walking towards you, so that your purples have time to coalesce. I mean, they're kind of useless, but I guess kind of the same. I don't know. Like SCX 8 is just like it's hard because you can't even multitask the growth though. Like you make up for them being useless by multitasking the thing, whereas SCX 8 is just kind of like raw time loss. Curtis getting solid bug here. Oh, sorry, Jack getting solid bug here. Jack doesn't need to worry about bugs though. That's the thing. Like that is the thing though. Like Jack doesn't have to worry about bugs. Like he just doesn't. He's like the tape makes it so you basically don't have to get more than like the bare minimum in FC in SCX. You can get a small skip, but it depends on how hard you want to go in COS. And also FC, like if there's bugs in FC that you collect, you can. I just think it's good insurance, right? Because he's He needed at least 35 of those bugs to become normal on money. So he's 15 over, right? He's 15 over. The question is does he go 15? Does he make up for being 15 over by? Okay. Well, he actually got it. When you get it first try, it weakens my opinion that you shouldn't do it. I was gonna say I don't know if he should go and do those throws, but I guess he did get. I guess he did have that on deck.
Yeah, those are probably the easiest Moke throws in the game. That Bulbo woke up for some reason.
That is
I actually
weird.
don't know why.
Bailed stun. Supremely bailed stun on Jack. Like supremely
God's favorite.
God's favorite. God's fucking
Those
favorite
white
on
throws
Jack.
by Curtis
Goddamn.
were very sketchy, but everything worked out.
I think the Moke throws are way better when they're oriented in the when it's oriented in the other way, but going up the ramp and just getting the full carry is just so fast. Like it's not about the throws themselves. It's that when you do the throws, the purples then slowly carry the treasure off the lip. Whereas if the ramp is facing the entrance of the room, you can just run up there and load with whites and it goes zoom. It's not about like I think even in like a task perspective, you can just like load blues, run up there, load whites, and it's pretty good. Good recognition on Jack. So when it's oriented, even though it's close to spawn, when it's oriented like this, oh shoot, is the bullbear gonna see him?
And
Nope, the
Bullbear-
bullbear decides to ignore him. Very common. Very common. Happened to me. It's very tilting
Oh,
though.
yeah,
You're like,
it
it's your
happened
job
again.
to look at me.
Okay, Curtis did the thing where you do go up the ramp, and yeah.
Yeah, the dude's being a diva. At least he's gonna see Jack now.
I'd wait for combat because yeah, that.
I mean, it's fine. The Jack doesn't lose that much time here. I honestly would have put more whites on the dig. He put a weird distribution on the ring, somewhat.
He
That's
did
okay.
like some whites and some blues.
Jack is getting like supremely God's favorite levels of bailed stuns because those throws were not. Yeah, he did 2 blues, 2 blues, which wouldn't have beaten the bull bear if it was facing the other way originally. I think he was a little bit kosher on the. He was a little bit soft on the dig, honestly. Yeah. If he had done 9 white 1 purple dig, it would have been the limiting factor, but it still would have been pretty fast. But here it wasn't the limiting factor because bull bear. I would have actually ran in front of the bull bear and turned it around. Jack went and got the candle and waited for the bull bear to come back. I wouldn't have waited. Candle's too fast. I would have done the next thing I would have done would be to lure the bull bear. Like just brute force lure the bull bear. What? Curtis is deciding to kill it. Honestly, don't hate this. Don't hate this. Curtis is deciding just to kill it early.
Okay, but you gotta get these purples in front of your parties, so now it's just slow.
yeah, he does.
There's a bomb there, Jack. Okay, you're good, yeah.
No, when you're max carrying with whites, bombs don't matter. The thing about this layout though is like you're never gonna get bugs.
Yeah, because they have to go all the way around. You got it's like a bad room layout.
Okay, yes.
I don't know why he's killing that.
Terrible layout, but what you gonna
This
do?
is bad.
See, so Curtis's mistake here, of course, was not going for the ring first. I think that was one where I'm just like, I think on that layout, like if the bull bear wasn't already going to the spawn, you would want to get that first. Jack's been about 2 minutes ahead for a while. Jack actually was back down to a 130. Jack was 2 minutes ahead out of out of Snaggart Hole. Or something like that.
Yep. It was
And
like 1
then
minute
he
Snaggart
was
Hole,
down
then
to
he gained more time.
130 in the middle of SCX because Curtis played SCX better. And then now Jack has kind of regained the lead a little bit. But this is the thing, like Curtis is going to get down on himself, but I'm going to tell Curtis, like, you actually made up time from Jack in like the middle of SCX. For sure. For sure. But yes, then he's lost it again. But he's been pretty, to be fair, it's also been a pretty consistent oscillation after the flub, after the early game deficit and then the flub in SH7. Like, Curtis hasn't continually lost time. Like, he was 2 minutes behind, and then he was, I agree with this. I think Curtis played this also slightly better than Jack.
Yeah, this is quite fast.
Specifically. This was better.
Jack is getting statues.
Yeah, this was just simply cleaner.
Where? Okay. Like, sure.
No, that was good. That was quite good. Jack wants to get this. I don't know what I guess he's just skip.
Whoa.
Skip mine, I guess.
I mean, but
Yeah,
mine was
that
faster
was.
than
I
this.
saw that coming from Jack.
Is it
the
just
shake.
slower than mine? And he lost a.
I don't know. I don't know about this one. I don't like these layouts. On the come down, I would have just left. There's a certain very specific come down that I like for FC6, and I think the other ones are just too messy. Mine isn't that slow. That's the thing. Because you multitask, you know, like as long as the combat on Bloister is okay, you multitask most of the carrying with getting to Glutton's Kitchen. Right? That's why mine is only like nominally like 30, 40 seconds, including the cutscene, including the treasure cutscene. So the thing is, on FC6, you have to really be booking it, because like the hole is right there, right? Like you're not comparing it to like one where you have to walk all the way to the hole. You're comparing it to like a 15-second. You're comparing it to like a 15-second thing. Nice dismiss, buddy. Okay, there it goes. not necessarily his fault. That was just a very weird dismiss. Obviously unintentional. Curtis, yeah, I think that's just correct. Curtis moving on. Like, yeah, Curtis is gonna have to get mine, but I don't think that Jack's statue was less than like 35, 40 seconds, including the treasure cutscene. I just, yeah. There's just too many bugs. And then, like, the beetle got in the way, and then the beetle launched Pikmin off of the treasure. Like, yeah, it was just a little bit much.
Why are we swarming dwarf billboards exactly?
8186 though. I mean, yeah, Jack's money is now good. It makes sense, right? By the way, just in case people were doubting whether or not Jack was broke as shit, he got statue and tape, and he's only 8186. Jack was broke as shit. Curtis did a better dismiss. I don't know what else to say about that one. But Jack was broke as shit. If Jack hadn't gotten tape and got mine, if Jack hadn't gotten tape, he would have been 8130. He would have had to get mine or still get Love Nugget or Master's Instrument, and that still would have been 30 seconds. Or he would have had to do like the craziest bug farm that would have lost more time. No, Jack was broke. This is the kind of thing, though, where like people are like, oh, it's fine, you just get the money later. It's like, he clearly didn't. He clearly didn't get the money later. He had to get a whole ass extra treasure and lost a lot of time doing it. Again, it doesn't matter because Jack's ahead in the race, right? So race-wise, who gives a shit? But this idea that like you can just be broke as shit and make up for it later is only true if you get mine. It's like a very much like a mind-privileged thing. Like Jack was broke as shit. Jack was
what
just
happened with the
like,
money,
so
man?
aggressively broke as shit. Any case, he's still out here though. But yes, I'm only occasionally looking at chat. So is the statue pattern getting even Blaster? It can be. I think in that layout, it almost assuredly wasn't, though. 31 bugs. That's fine. 31 bugs is super good. No, Jack. No, Curtis is a lot because those 31 bugs are, yeah, 31 bugs is easy because you can get like 20 for free in COS. 0 for Jack, right? But Jack got a 50 Poco treasure. I love that, Curtis. Thank you, Curtis.
Man. Oh.
Jack got a 50 Poco treasure, right? So, you know, makes sense. Live Curtis reaction.
That live Curtis reaction was actually Curtis, if you guys didn't know.
That is literally Curtis. I'm just pointing out that Jack was so broke that he got a 50 Poco treasure and is only 31 Pocos ahead of Curtis. Jack is broke as shit. He's fast. He's a god gamer, but like the amount of money that he had, like this is the thing where like I'm just trying to be very clear here. If someone's exiting with 4920, they are broke. They are not okay. They are broke. They are okay in the sense that if they get a shit ton of bugs, they will be less broke. But no, 4920 is broke. That's no money. You have no fucking money. You are begging on the street. You are not. You have 0 cash. I meant in bug pace, JPEP. Come on. Yes, he's 110 Pocos ahead of Curtis. Yes. Curtis had 807 something, and Jack had
8074.
I'm aware that one got lens and one got statue and one didn't. I'm aware. I mean bug pace though, because mine and statue are literally interchangeable in Pocos, so I don't really count that in terms of pace. Money pace rather. Like they're planning on getting 2 different treasures of the same value, so that pace doesn't actually change. Jack just got one now and Curtis got it later. It doesn't change the fact that Jack was broke as shit. Again, whatever. I'm not saying that, you know. I'm not saying that it's like the worst thing in the world. I'm just trying to be objective here. Like objectively, 4920 is not a lot of money. Curtis is gonna get down on himself. Curtis is gonna get down on himself this run, Kemi, but he actually outplayed Jack on like a very reasonable number of sub-levels. I think Jack just, well, obviously Jack outplayed the rest, but I also think when Jack outplayed Curtis, Jack like scooped a shit ton of time loss. Or like Curtis, when Curtis made a mistake, Curtis like dumpstered a shit ton of time. But like Curtis played like, there's a list. Like Curtis played SH2 better than Jack. Curtis played SCX1 better than Jack. Possibly even SCX3 better than Jack. I would have to double check that though. But definitely SCX1. Like, Curtis has been playing fine. Curtis has just made like several key errors that put him way behind. And like, you know, and that's sometimes how it goes. You know, and that's the thing, like when Jack is fast, Jack just like smashes the opponent. In a very real way where like where I feel like, you know, Curtis might save like 15 seconds on Jack, but there was sometimes where like Jack would save like 30 seconds on Curtis. Like, but you know, multiple kind of trades like that. Where like I think this is the big thing where like Curtis needs to also be a lot more decisive on action compared to Jack. Like I think sometimes when Curtis has the better game plan than Jack, he plays faster, right? It's just sometimes Curtis like will do the same. There was many times where Curtis did the same thing as Jack. He just was slow. But like, you know, Curtis is deceptively not that far behind. As in like he's 2 minutes behind. But like you can trace those like 2 minutes roughly. You can trace those 2 minutes back to like several floors and then change, you know? I'm just saying that Curtis is doing fine.
Well,
Jack
Sonny
is
Cycle.
obviously like top player in Curtis a little bit. Good. By the way, I'm also setting up a Sunny Cycle tutorial for all the people that don't like my fucking Shakeless tutorial. Because they're like, oh, Shakeless is technically slower. It's okay. Don't worry. A Twitch.tv tutorial is coming. I also need to add my current Twitch.tv tutorial to the fucking tutorials tab on my videos. I actually have a playlist. And I need to actually add it to that. Twitch.tv tutorial, baby! My, the Shakeless strat, by the way, though, is actually really good for what, like, in my race against, was it Kira? I forget. There was one where I had 10 purples, and I got Shakeless, and it was actually really good. Because 10 purples isn't enough to suck.
You just got Shakeless and you just did it faster.
Nah, Curtis was close. Unfortunately, Shakeless is the Chad, and Sunny Cycle is the Virgin. Unfortunately, no, I'm joking. Shakeless is really good though when you have like 11 purples. If you're like pulling like a sergeant or something and you have like 11 purples, I think Shakeless is better because you're not gonna get Sunny Cycle on 11 purples. But Shakeless is actually gonna prevent you from having a bad time. Because that's what I mean. That's what I did in Kira's race or whatever. I had like 10 purples, and I'm just like, okay, and I just like got, and then you just get Shakeless, and it's like, oh, that actually works. And that's Shakeless. If you have like 10 purples, is way faster than trying to Sunny Cycle with 10 purples for sure. For certain.
Alright, so like realistically, the only way Curtis wins is if Jack crashes. I'm just putting that out there. That's the only way.
Jack could crash though. Not wait. So yeah, Curtis is only like a minute 40 behind Jack. Actually, I'm just doing the math out right here. Right, it's roughly 140 for the mind split if Curtis doesn't mess up. So, and Jack was 2 minutes ahead earlier. Like, Curtis has honestly been neck and neck with Jack after, like, Snagger Hole. Which is, it's a crazy sentence, but it's somehow true. Because Curtis was legit, like, 2 minutes behind Jack out of Snagger Hole. It wasn't a good time for Curtis, okay? But, like, Curtis has been fluctuating between like 140, 130, and 2 minutes for like the last back half of the race. So, like Curtis has been pretty even with Jack, especially out of BK. Curtis has been pretty even with Jack, actually. Which is surprising because like for how good Jack is. I think it just goes to show that Curtis is playing okay. It's just, you know, Curtis exploded and then played terribly and then exploded, which is fine. I literally did that against my worthy opponent, one chemical QQ underscore. No, there's no underscore. That's Kira with the underscore. Sorry. But, you know, one, you know, so, like, I'm not one to judge. Like, I know how it goes when you, like, accidentally explode. But, like, aside from this, like, explosion that happened really early with Curtis, he's like surprisingly even with Jack.
Why does Jack have like 0 whites?
Like a backhanded compliment thing, but like he's like Jack for how good Jack is. Curtis has actually not been doing that badly. Well, sometimes you can only grow 30 whites. I gotta, you know. Sure. I don't know. That the layouts I've been getting, I want to grow more whites. I just haven't been getting layouts for it. But yeah, basically Curtis has been pretty consistent. I know Curtis is gonna get down on himself, but he's been pretty consistent.
Alright, will there be moke throws? We have a yes. It's a harder moke throws. Well, two required. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a good play by Jack, just letting whites die there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because he stood there and waited. Like, if you're gonna do the white thing, I think the real gambit, if you're gonna do the white thing, is you gotta like just throw whites and do it. But he like stood there and waited, and I'm like, if you're gonna stand there, you might as well just do combat, right? Like this man already, like, you know, like again, it doesn't matter because again he's so ahead, like whatever. But like, you could have. The whole point of doing that, right, is throwing the whites and going. But he threw the whites and he stood there to make sure, like he walked up to the bull bear, watched the bull bear, then threw the whites, and then started moving. You know, I'm just like. Yeah, Jack was very good on money because he got tape.
Yeah, Pi. Jack is super good in bugs. He didn't need that bull bear.
Well, because he got tape. If you get a whole ass extra treasure, then like yeah, you're gonna that's gonna happen. You got a 50 Poco treasure. You know, Pi, I don't know if you've checked Jack's finances lately, but like he's doing okay. You know, he invested his money.
Yeah, he invested in Bolden coin.
He decided to buy some stocks in the adhesive industry. Curtis is currently getting trolled by the one fucking dwarf bull bear that can't get one shot for some reason.
It's always the one.
And I'm kind of agreeing with Curtis on this. Like, yeah, if you sit there and you watch the bull bear come to you, that was actually probably faster than. Like, I don't know. The thing about the white luring is the white thing is only good is if you're like throwing 3 whites and run. Like, it has to be like you need to be getting raw multitask. Curtis, I would get white goodness moving with blues. Otherwise, you're not going to figure out how to carry both in time. I'm just going to let you know right now. You can't hear me, but that's what's going to happen, right? You're now not going to be able to figure out how to carry both in time because instead of just carrying that with blues and max loading the other one with whites, now you have to kind of double it up a little bit. Yeah. What's going on, right? If you had just like thrown 12 blues in like 2 seconds, you wouldn't have this problem. Or I guess 13 blues. Sorry. But yes. Yes. Well, he was Pi. He was. But then he got stocks in the adhesive industry, so it's fine. No, but like I was saying, okay, the thing is, well, I just want to like dispel some myths here. The myth here is 4920. 4920 out of BK is not a lot of money, right? It's honestly a low enough amount of money that I would say that it's like poor. Any case, I don't know. Jack kind of paid 5 fine. I don't know, like 5. Once you get to this level, it's just like yeah, just get the treasure moving and go. Jack's pretty good on money, so we'll just see how Giant Redbug behaves.
I'm not sure how Curtis is doing in money since the start of GK, but he definitely should be fine, I believe.
Oh, Curtis is fine. Curtis played this race really fine. Yeah, Curtis was, I mean, that's I guess what we were saying. Like Curtis is playing okay. For being also like obviously incredibly tilted. Like Curtis is playing fine. Oh, sneeze. Kazoon tight. All right, buddy. The ham.
It's just like
Jack kind of playing this old school. I don't know how I feel about it, but there you go. kind of old school to only do 2 and 2 on the purples. You usually want to put a little bit more on that. But you know, Jack playing it old school, kicking it old school. Curtis is fine. He needs to get 10 is awkward. 10 is where like if I knew I was coming in, so I actually also have the numbers memorized for 4. Because if I was Curtis and I knew I was coming in, I would actually have collected a dwarf bull bear. I would have killed one, collected it here. Because 4 anodes is actually really awkward. 3 anodes is fine. It is one of those weird things where like it's actually what you could do is you could get 3 anodes and try to damage one of the bread bugs and have them re-grab. But that also takes precision and that takes skill, and sometimes you have that on deck and sometimes you don't.
So you're saying top runners shouldn't be skilled
honestly. They were kind of lined up in a way that made it okay. So I guess I'm eating my words. Like that was fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
Redbug didn't go for it.
Whoa.
So that's annoying.
Kurt's got a little antsy there.
Yeah, well, yeah, it doesn't matter somehow, but yeah. The thing is that the Redbug can just go for any corpse right now, so that's kind of fine. But yeah, and against GG to Jack, I want to see what the deficit is. So Jack hit that at 38.40.
Hey Jack, what's up?
Hey Jack,
How's
how's it going?
Yeah, good. It's a
There you go.
fun run, I think.
Yeah, that was fun. Curtis actually was, as we were saying, Curtis actually played this surprisingly well. He actually took some unfortunate things happened with Curtis. Some of it skill issues, some of it, what can you do in like really early, like in Snaggered Hole.
Oh right, what
But
happened?
Curtis actually played it pretty tight with you after like Snaggered Hole BK. Like
Nice.
Snaggered Hole and Enter BK were really rough for Curtis, so he was like 2 minutes behind you. But I think
Wow.
he's only going to be 2 minutes behind you out of this, like roughly. Like you were 38.40, so I'm watching now what he ends at. But like if he's 40.40 or something like that, like he basically was like actually pretty close to you.
Yeah,
like, for all of VOR2. But you know there was just this.
I definitely had a
Yeah.
couple of bigger mistakes in the second part as well. So he definitely just like made the difference over me. So that's good.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, yeah, you know, you made some I mean, you know, but again, I made so many flubs my last race. Like, you know, I'm obviously not, you know, I'm not speaking on it in any, but you know, sometimes in a race you just make silly flubs, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was mainly for me. I think SCX1 I had a misread, and then FC6 I
Yeah,
thought
that
there were two
was-
statues, but there was one, and I was like,
That was a brain fart. To be fair, if it makes you feel better, Curtis figured it out faster than you did, but you both did that silly misread that I thought,
oh, what?
frankly,
So
was
we
a little
both tried
silly.
to do the stump.
Well, Curtis just checked the spiral room. He just checked the other spawn point. He saw from the gauge that it wasn't in the stump, but he still checked. He still went around the back, just solo captain searching.
I feel like I need to check the VOD because I tried standing at the front of the stump and then moving slightly to the right to see like I'm moving further away from the tapes. I wanted the gauge to go down, but I think it ticked
could've
up.
Yeah, sorry. We
No,
can
yeah,
review.
I was just saying it was harder to tell at the time. But yeah, that was my
Yeah,
only.
well, that's a little hard.
Wobbles back and forth, which is just what that is.
Yeah, there's but yeah. So yeah, Curtis 4946. Yeah, so Curtis was basically about. Yeah, I think you kind of caught a little bit more time on him in GK as well. But yeah, no, I mean solid race actually. I think it was surprisingly good.
Nice.
Hey Curtis, how's it going?
I'm alright.
No.
What was
Race.
your final time, Jack?
138.41 was me.
I will say, Curtis, just as like a note, you actually played like a good number of like, you know, just to give some context, you actually played a lot of mid game equal to, or even sometimes a little bit better than Jack. Even you had a really big deficit in the beginning, but then you held it. So you actually did most of the race was actually really, really good. You know, there was just like the SH7 thing was obviously a thing that happened, and then Enter BK was a little bit rough. But then aside from that, like you really kept it close. in terms of like you didn't keep hemorrhaging that time.
Nice.
Yeah, I fucking bossed up NFC and COS.
Yeah, you did good. I really liked how you played FC in general. So, yeah, I would say both of you should feel at the very least fine. you don't have to feel amazing, but like both of you should feel pretty fine about that race. I think you both put a really good showing on. I think you both played like pretty well on average for sure. So,
yeah, I'm pretty happy with how I
great
played.
job, guys.
No big issues, to be honest. I'm just kind of glad that like the worst mistake I made was like a misread, and that's it. But everything else,
Yeah. Oh, I
nothing was
mean,
wrong. So it's cool.
especially in lieu of catastrophes that have happened recently, that this was
other individuals,
very low amount of catastrophe.
I only really misread on like FC3. This is only like
yeah. It'll be interesting.
SCX1 was kind of weird, and like I checked Spiral because if I didn't, then it would be bad. But like whatever, that was kind of weird too.
I do think I know it's sometimes awkward. I'm also really bad at watching my own VODs recently. I always get so embarrassed, especially when I'm not playing super well. But like, I do think there's sometimes where I do think like second guessing yourself, especially in terms of play, is super common. But I think that's somewhere where I think Jack still just had better movement, where Jack would just kind of. There was like one time, for example, on SCX3 where Curtis was like, you like loaded the spring, and then you whistled Pikmin off the spring, and then you're like, oh no, wait, we actually want the spring to have, where like Jack really just went like, I'm gonna load the gear. Now I'm gonna load the spring. Now I'm gonna do this, and it just was.
SCX3 was fucked up. I had to change my plan like halfway through the level because I was gonna dismiss.
I did agree that I'm like, wait a second, I'm like, wait a second, he maybe should have done something differently. But you still just did. I'm still saying that I think Curtis had the better actual game plan, but I think you guys did it about the same just because you just like kept stuff going,
Yeah, I wanted to leave purples in the spawn, but then I didn't realize that the other cannon lava was there, so it wasn't a safe dismiss. So I was like, shit.
Yeah,
so I was gonna do blues
gear, for
white,
sure.
or like kind of blues and whites on gear, blues and whites on spring, and then purple combat as they were both traveling. But then it wasn't safe because they were lava, which was annoying.
I fumbled on the spring carry a little bit because I wanted there to be whites at spawn for the combat treasures, and I realized I whistled off like way too many.
Yeah, I think that combat would have taken long enough. If you want my opinion, I think you probably...
Well, it was the last thing in for me, even with putting whites on it. So...
Right. I would have done like all whites on the spring and then blues on the gear and then combat, and then you would have white swapped, and I think by the time you got to the hole, the gear would have gotten in anyway. Hard to tell though.
Maybe.
I mean, we have this seed, so we can actually put it in the practice hack and like think about it, because I think it's one of those interesting ones for sure.
Yeah, well, GG's. I'm glad neither of us shit the bed completely on on the run.
Yeah, no. Again, all things considered, great race. I'm glad I was able to do an impromptu comms. I just got back home and I'm like, oh, it's time. Let's do it. So
yeah, it's the expected outcome.
Yeah, GG's all.
Thanks, Teddy, for co-comming. You're the GOAT, aka Star.
My man, Cap.
So, quick update on the tournament then. Jack will be moving on to winner semifinal against Kemi. Coming up next, we have a match scheduled between Kira and Electric Fortune. That'll be next Sunday at 8 p.m. EDT, so a week from now. And JPEP versus SBU on Tuesday the 14th.
Excellent. Well, Thank you so much for streaming. Bye.
Yeah, thanks for everything. All right, bye everyone.
Yep, have a good one.
Yep.
Have a good one.